Hi, I'm back. I'm back. I'll be reading some more from the Disneyland Encyclopedia. We're up to the letter H. The letter H. Okay, here we go. Hallmark Card Shop Map. Main Street, MS-14, dates June 15th to 1960 to January 6, 1985. Three businesses have operated out of the attractive building designed by John Hench on the northeast corner of Main Street and East Center Street. Two of those businesses were card shops, starting with Gibson greeting cards from 1955 to 1959. When Gibson bid farewell, the Hallmark card shop took over in mid 1960. It was probably only a matter of time before Hallmark showed up at the park. Founded in 1910, the company had been making Disney-themed greeting cards since 1931. Also, its headquarters were in Kansas City, where Walt Disney had spent some of his childhood and later started his Laugh-O-Gram animation company. Disneyland's Hallmark card shop continued for almost a quarter of a century, closing in early 1985 to make way for a big new retailer, Disney Clothers Ltd. Hall of Aluminum Fame Map. Tomorrowland T-24 dates December 1955 to July 1960. In Disneyland's first year, Walt Disney needed some Tomorrowland sponsors who could provide their own exhibits, thus freeing him to concentrate his time and money on other aspects of the park. 5 months after opening day, the KAISER Aluminum and Chemical Company debuted its shiny Hall of Aluminum fame in the same educational exhibit building that already housed Montecito's Hall of Chemistry. This building prime real estate just inside the Tomorrowland entrance would eventually house Star Tours. Early souvenir books described KAISER Podfish's walk-through hall as an entertaining exhibit of today's and tomorrow's uses of the vital metal. Guesses first encountered a sign announcing the brightest star in the world of metals next to a 40-foot slanting aluminum cylinder that looked like a giant telescope, complete with oversized dials and two narrow finder scopes mounted along the top. The telescope was actually the entrance to the hall. Guests walked through the base and entered a room lined with displays showing the history and uses of aluminum. A 6-foot wide time sphere in the center of the room presented images of men using and even wearing aluminum. Above the room, a cascade of aluminum stars streaked past exposed rafters and beams. Enjoying the proceedings from a pedestal, near a wall was a 3-foot tall grinning aluminum pig named KAP, wearing work clothes and holding a winch. KP made a cute mascot, though he was not a Disney character. KAP was an acronym for Kaiser Aluminum Pig. Pig being the term for the pure base alumina that is refined into pure aluminum. Like the hall itself, KP was a strained attempt at making science and industry entertaining to kids and lay people. 5 years after its opening, the lights dimmed on the brightest meadows exhibit in favor of less several fun photos displays. Hall of Chemistry Map, Tomorrowland T-24 dates. July 17th, 1955 to September 19th, 1966. Of the four mosquito attractions that existed in Tomorrowland in the 1950s and 60s, the Hall of Chemistry was the only one to debut on opening day. The House of the Future opened 2 years later, followed by Fashions and Fabrics through the ages in 65, and Adventure through Inner Space in 67. The Hall of Chemistry is big, rectangular building inside. Tomorrowland's entrance was adorned on the outside with the red Montecito logo and Space Age atoms. Inside, the hall was a free walkthrough exhibit that featured informational displays demonstrating how the modern world benefited from chemical engineering. Oversized test tubes, electrified wall displays, and a METAPHORICAL arm reaching across the ceiling all contributed to the educational experience. Carpet makes it home was Montecito's pitch for synthetic floor coverings. As pedestrian as the hall of chemistry sounds today, it did last for over a decade and must have educated millions of visitors. The attraction finally gave way in 1966 and was replaced by the dramatic Adventure Through Inner Space attraction. The following year, today's guests will find Star Tours where corporate chemistry was once celebrated. Halloween time dates: September 29th, 2006 to ongoing. Other Southern California parks began celebrating Halloween with month-long activities as far back as 1973, the year Knott's Berry Farm debuted its seasonal Knott's Scary Farm transformation. Surprisingly, Disneyland didn't do any park-wide Halloweening during the 20th century. However, in the 21st century, Disneyland executives decided to scale up some off-season crowds of their own. On September 29, 2006, it was finally time for Halloween time. The Disney difference was the target audience, while other parks aimed their Halloween attractions at teens and offered intense thrills and chills. Disneyland captured the family audience with gentler activities that were as fun as they were scary. Those activities have included special shows at the temporary Woody's Halloween Roundup in Frontierland, a seasonal retheming of a space mountain with Ghost Galaxy decor, special special Halloween themed foods, and a playful haunted mansion holiday overlay, continuing a haunted mansion tradition begun in 2001. In recent years, a Halloween screens, fireworks display, and a costume party for special trick-or-treaters have added to the nighttime festivities. Pumpkins naturally appear everywhere in the park, beginning with a 16-foot tall Mickey-shaped jack-o'-lantern on Main Street and continuing with hundreds of smaller pumpkins in every corner of the park. In addition, windows and lampposts are adorned with Halloween decor, and stores are stocked with spooky items. Once Halloween is over and Halloween time runs out, there is barely a month left to transform the park for the winter holidays with elaborate new decorations. So popular is Halloween time. It's Halloween time that it's been starting earlier every year on September 16th in 2011, and that hope for a surge in October attendance. It jumps about 40% compared to pre-Halloween time years, with comparable spikes in merchandise and food sales. Happiest Homecoming on Earth. Dates: May 5th, 2005 to September 30th, 2006. In honor of its 50th birthday, Disneyland staged the Happiest Homecoming on Earth, a comprehensive celebration that lasted from May 5th, 2005 through September 30th, 2006. Julia Andrews served as the official ambassador for the 18-month party. Among the special events and new shows were celebratory decorations appearing on Sleeping Beauty Castle and other significant buildings. Walt Disney's Parade of Dreams held daily a nightly fireworks spectacular called Remember, Dreams Come True, and Disneyland, The First 50 Magical Years, a new documentary featuring Steve Martin and shown all day long in the Opera House. Disneyland welcomed one new attraction in 2005, Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, the reopening of updated favorites, and a plethora of 50th anniversary merchandise. On July 16, 2005, fans started lining up for entry the next morning, the 50th anniversary of opening day. Elsewhere, Disney parks around the globe honor the Disneyland tradition with happiest celebration on Earth festivities of their own. One day after Disneyland's 50th birthday party ended, the Year of a Million Dreams promotion began. Harbor Gallery. Map Bear Country /Critter Country B /C -1 dates July 1989 to ongoing. In 1989, a small counter-service eatery called the Harbor Gallery opened near the Haunted Mansion. The riverfront location was on a walkway named Millview, Millview Lane, a reference to both Disney legend Joe Fowler. This was reportedly the name of the street he lived on in Florida, and the old mill over on Tom Sawyer Island. As the maritime sign out front announced, the Harbor Gallery offered delectable seafood specialties, including Cajun pumpkin shrimp, fish and chips, and chowder. Unfortunately, business was often so slow that the Harbor Gallery was frequently closed. In mid 2001, while still retaining its name, the restaurant transformed into a McDonald's outlet, outlet serving only fries and beverages, an abbreviated menu similar to the one in Westward Ho, CONESTOGA wagon fries from 1998 to 2008. After closing in September 2008, the Harbor Gallery reopened 9 months later with a small soup and salad menu, replacing everything from McDonald's. The Haunted Mansion map, New Orleans Square, NOS-12 dates August 9, 1969 to ongoing. One of the most eagerly awaited days in park history was the debut of the Haunted Mansion. The public had been hearing about the attraction since 1961 and had been staring at its gleaming, unfinished exterior in New Orleans Square since 1963, when it finally opened at the height of the summer tourist season in 1969. The exciting new attraction drew some of Disneyland's largest crowds ever. Tentative plans for some kind of haunted house had actually preceded those for Disneyland itself. Harper's GOF's 1951 concept drawing depicted a haunted mansion on a hill, and Marvin Davis's 1953 illustration placed a rickety haunted house at the end of Main Street. 2 years after Disneyland opened, Ken Anderson came up with a basic design and a story to go with it, expecting a New Orleans section to be built in Disneyland. At some point, Anderson drew a southern mansion and invented a plot that included the headless horseman and a murderous sea captain who ended up hanging himself. Most of this plot was abandoned in the end, but some individual elements endured, such as the hanging corpus seen early in the attraction. As building designs evolved, Walt Disney quickly rejected any that portrayed depleted mansions reminiscent of the creepy haunted houses in films. Disneyland structures he agreed would not look run down and neglected. In 1961, in 1961, Disney announced that the Haunted Mansion would open within 2 years, and in fact, an elegant three-story mansion with four stately columns was built in 1963 near Adventureland. Guests were tantalized, and all decade long, the park's souvenir books touted the attraction with an airy painting by Sam McKean. In reality, work on the Haunted Mansion had stopped, dedicating himself and his design team to creating four new attractions for the 1964 to 1965 New York World's Fair. Walt Disney put the Haunted Mansion on indefinite hold. He stirred up excitement once again when he re-announced it in 1965 on an episode of his Wonderful World of Color TV show, and even mentioned specific details such as a museum of the weird, which was never built. But not until 1967 was mentioned construction underway and accelerating. Using ideas approved by Disney before he passed away in 1966, an all-star team of future Disney legends ran with the project. John Hinch was the overall supervisor. Bear Justice developed audio animatronic ghouls. Fred Joerger made plaster models. Wally Crump, Bill Martin, and Yale Gracie designed scary special effects. Mark Davis added whimsical touches. Claude Coates designed the spooky interiors, and Buddy Baker and ex-ATENCIO wrote the grinning ghost theme song sung by Thor Ravenscroft, and the Mellowmen. ATENCIO also penned the ghost host's script. From its genesis to its actual debut, the Haunted Mansion underwent two major revisions. The first came when it gradually transformed from being completely frightening to being a half scary, half funny, happy haunt attraction. The second came when it changed from a walkthrough exhibit into an OMNIMOVER attraction. The MONIMOVER system basically semi-enclosed parts on a conveyor belt had already proven itself as a safe, efficient way to move crowds through the popular Adventure Through Inner Space attraction in Tomorrowland. Realizing that pedestrians would move too slowly through the mansion's interiors, especially if those pedestrians were frightened or fascinated, designers decided to convey thousands of foolish motors per hour via OMNIMOVER dune buggy pods that would swivel on pre-programmed command. The Haunted Mansion's main outdoor cemetery interred in the wall. Theo later, you are gone. Ray Carnation. Dustin D.T. Dust. Levitation. I am mortal. I miss you. I truly departed. Departed. I'll be back. Rest in peace. Empty tomb. Pets with tombstones. Bat. Freddy the Bat, 1847. We will miss you. Dog. Buddy. Our friend until the end. Fish. October 10th, 1867. Frog. Old fly bait. He croaked. August 9, 1869. Pig. Rosie. She was a poor little pig, but she bought the farm. 1849. Rat. In memory of my rat whom I loved. Now he resides in the realms up above. Skunk. Beloved Lilith. Long on curiosity, short on common sense. 1847. Snake. Here lies my snake, whose fatal mistake was frightening the gardener, who carried a rake. Spider. Here lies long-legged Jeb, got tangled up in his very own web. Once inside the building and past the foyer, guests step into a stretchy room that lowers them 15 feet down in an elevator to a 90-foot subterranean walkway. This is the portrait gallery. Besides showing off clever INTAGLIL busts and double image paintings, what the gallery really does is lead guests under the park's railroad tracks, effectively taking them beyond the perimeter of the park's original layout to a 1-acre show building next door. There are 131 dune buggies carry guests through haunted hallways, past the haunted attic and haunted ballroom into a haunted cemetery and back to an exit ramp. Next to Pirates of the Caribbean, the Haunted Mansion was the most ambitious and complex attraction of its time. Just before it opened to the public in mid-1969, the anticipation was so intense that stories circulated about viewers who had died of fright on preview tours. When the attraction finally opened, guests were welcomed by elegantly dressed cast members who intensified the suspense with their unfamiliarly somber demeanor. They are encouraged not to smile. The Haunted Mansion quickly became the park's most popular attraction. On August 16, 1969, 1 week after officially opening, a record 82,516 guests roamed Disneyland, all of them, it seemed, ready to line up for hours to get scared for. for 8 minutes by Haunted Mansion Horrors. That, a- that, a- that attendance record lasted for almost 2 decades, though Disneyland stopped giving attendance figures in 1984. It's believed that the record was finally eclipsed in 1987 when Star Tours debuted. Over the years, a large group of loyal fans has unearthed and disclosed some of the Haunted Mansion's secrets. Walt Disney himself considered doing the narration, later performed by Paul Frees. The Madame Loti floating head illusion is the face of Leota a Disney Imagineer. The voice is provided by veteran actress Eleanor Audley, who added vocals to the films Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. The organ in the ballroom is the one used in the film 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The humorous tombstones, formerly in the cemetery out front, referred to actual Imagineers. In addition to the main pet cemetery in the queue area to the left of the building, there's a small hidden cemetery to the right. The singing busts have names Cousin, Algernon, Ned, Nub, Phineasp, Uncle Theodore, Rollorumkin. Walt Disney's Visage is not on a broken bus as rumored. That's actually singer Thor Ravenscroft. The cake on the banquet table has 13 candles. The maritime weather vane atop the haunted mansion refers to the original motorist more Mariner storyline, and at one time live cast members in costume, including a suit of armor, would jump out at guests to and live in the experience for repeat visitors. One secret that's been long rumored, but is untrue, concerns the horse-drawn horse out front. It's not from Brigham Young's funeral. The vulnerable mansion gets revised occasionally. In 2001, the building was dressed up with the Nightmare Before Christmas decor for the Haunted Mansion holiday. In 2006, high-tech updates in the attic caused portraits to vanish before guests' eyes. The soundtrack has also been revised, but no matter how it changes, the Haunted Mansion continues to exert an irresistible pull on guests, and they still, hurry back, hurry back. Just as the little Lotte figure near the exit has encouraged them to do for over 4 decades. Hence, John, 1908 to 2004. Many historians have concluded that No person other than Walt Disney had more influence on Disney theme parks or understood them better than John Hens, and no one appreciated Disneyland more than this Erudite designer. Disneyland is our greatest achievement, Hens wrote in Designing Disney. Disneyland was first, and set the pattern for others to follow. An Ohioan born in 1908, Hench attended art institutes in New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles before joining Disney Studios in 1939. There he worked as an artist and story editor for almost 20 years on animated classics like Fantasia, Dumbo, and Peter Pan. Hench also helped with the Oscar-winning special effects on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In 1954, Hench started designing Disneyland projects and shaping the parks and AESTHETICS, which meant that everything from attraction layout to garden landscaping to color schemes was within his pure view. He was the designer or chief planner for the Moonlighter, the Snow White, Wishing Well and Grotto, New Orleans Square, the Carousel of Progress, Tomorrowland, the Haunted Mansion, and many buildings on Main Street. Cast member costumes, queue areas, attraction posters, and even restrooms were sketched by John Hench. The nation got a glimpse of him walking on plaza and interiors on a 1965 episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. Hench, however, was quick to point out that Walt Disney was the real designer of everything in Disneyland. By the time you got your ideas back from Walt, Hench said, in remembering Walt, you wouldn't recognize them as your own. In the end, the production was all his. Outside Disneyland, Hench was Walt Disney's right-hand man in developing the opening and closing ceremonies of the 1960 Olympic Games. He also helped with the new exhibits for the 1964 to 1965 New York World's Fair and was a key contributor as other Disney parks opened around the world. As Mickey Mouse's official portrait artist, he created new commemorative paintings for the star's 25th, 50th, 60th, and 70th birthdays. Named a Disney legend in 1990, John Hench was long respected as the wise mentor to younger Imagineers. In 1999, one of Disneyland's greatest contributors celebrated a 60-year Disney career, and in 2003, he ELOQUENTLY summarized what he'd learned in a retrospective book called Designing Disney. The following year, John Hench died in Burbank at age 95. HERALDRY Sharpie, aka Castle, HERALDRY Map, Fantasyland F8-4 F8-30, date CA 1995 to ongoing. Over the years, Fantasyland has offered several resources for genealogical research, while the now absent names unraveled service looked up names. The current HERALDRY Sharpie enables guests to investigate family history. The HERALDRY Sharpie has also been called Castle HERALDRY due to due to its original location within the entrance to Sleeping Beauty Castle. After a decade there, it moved into the castle courtyard next to Peter Pan Flight, a prominent spot that once upon a time housed Merlin's magic shop. Three fairies, magic crystals replaced the HERALDRY Sharpie inside the castle in 2006. HERALDRY got its start in the Middle Ages as a way for English families to trace their heritage, establish their ruling status, and define their coats of arms. At Disneyland, guests can learn the geographic and historical origins of their family name, check out the family quest, and purchase an attractive hard copy of all the pertinent information. Also available are souvenir coats of arms, $100, $150 swords, personalized plaques, and more. Kids may get bored in this Ouija shop, but adults will be fascinated. Operated by ALESSE, the Historical Research Center. The shop occasionally closes even when other Fantasyland shops are open. Hidden Mickeys. The term Hidden Mickey is something of a misnomer, since the Mickeys that are supposedly hidden are actually in plain sight. A hidden Mickey is a three-circle shape pattern after Mickey Mouse's silhouetted head and round ears. However simple, mouse ears placed on a different character, or the appearance of a Mickey's oversized glove or shoes can also qualify as hidden Mickeys. The hidden Mickey concept probably started on a small scale at Disneyland in the 1970s, when Disney Imagineers planted a few for their own amusement. But as interest in Disneyland trivia intensified over the decades, the Imagineers began incorporating hidden Mickeys into Disneyland's architecture and attractions with increasing frequency, to be discovered by enthusiastic guests. By now, dozens of hidden Mickeys of varying sizes, shapes, and subtlety are scattered throughout the park. Several unofficial fan websites catalog new hidden Mickeys as they appear in the park. in the park. Hidden Mickeys are distinguished from actual Mickeys that have been obviously worked into the decor or design. The large PARTERRE at the entrance, for example, or that constitute the shape of a product. A Mickey Mouse shaped lollipop wouldn't count. Finding a true hidden Mickey usually requires careful observation and repeat visits for confirmation. For Disneyland's 50th Golden Anniversary in 2005, 50 additional blue and gold hidden Mickeys were incorporated into the park in various locations. These temporary Mickeys were much more conspicuous than the hidden brethren, and in fact, City Hall even provided a list of locations to help guests find them all. Find them all. Here's BROS Coffee House and Coffee Garden. Map Town Square TS-7 dates June 13, 1958 to December 1976. 8 months after Maxwell House closed its coffee shop on Town Square. Here's BROS, a San Francisco coffee company founded in the early 1900s. We opened it because it had an expanded outdoor area. The park souvenir books dubbed this the Hills BROS Coffee House and Coffee Garden. The location was ideal for a morning coffee business since it faced guests as they entered the park through the East Tunnel and headed to Main Street. In 1976, Hills BROS headed for the Market House and the Town Square Cafe took over this spot as a full-service sit-down restaurant. Hobbyland. Map Tomorrowland T-20 date September 4, 1955 to January 1966. For over 10 years, the open area south of the flight circle in Tomorrowland was the site of a freestanding retail area known as Hobbyland. If Hobbyland were in place today, it would begin outside the Star Traders store and extend to Cosmic Waves. Lackluster in design, Hobbyland was nothing more than about a dozen countertops separated by aluminum struts that supported temporary fiberglass roofs. What interested its devotees, however, was the Hobbyland treasure they could mine. Hobbyland's jewels were its model kits. Guests sifted through a comprehensive collection that included everything from cars and ships to rockets and dinosaurs, plus some of the motorized vehicles from the nearby flight circle. In 1966, this whole area was closed off for the extensive Tomorrowland remodeling that would put the People Mover in new walkways where Hobbyland's simple booths had once dazzled model makers. Holidayland map Park. Map Park P-13 dates June 16, 1957 to September 1961. One of Disneyland's most unusual areas wasn't actually in the park. Holidayland was located outside Disneyland's perimeter barn in a field west of Frontierland. Holidayland's 9 acres were devoted to simple, inexpensive outdoor family fun, minimally landscaped. The area offered refreshment stands, picnic tables, a baseball field, volleyball nets, a children's playground, and horseshoe pits, as well as square dancing plants for ice skating, and some other seasonal activities never came to fruition. Swift, the same company that sponsored the Market House, Red Wagon Inn, and Chicken Plantation, sold picnic baskets, which surprisingly included beer. Dominating Holidayland was a traditional red striped circus tent with special events ranging from bingo to performances by the mouse by the by the by the by the mouse by the MOUSEKETEERS could be held. This tent was the same one used for the short-lived Mickey Mouse Club Circus in Fantasyland. Holidayland was intended to attract big family reunions or, ideally, corporations that could buy up to 7,000 tickets for their employees and hold day-long company picnics. Admission to Holidayland, unfortunately, did not include admission to Disneyland. It did, however, include access to a special Disneyland entrance where a park admission ticket could be purchased, and then a path into Frontierland could be taken under the train tracks. This was the only time in Disneyland's history the guests could enter the park in a location other than the front gates or via the monorail station in Tomorrowland. Disney legend Milt Albright, who would later devise more successful group sales strategy, supervised Holidayland in its early years. Ticket sales for this isolated area were always a challenge, and so in the fall of 1961, its circus tent, already destroyed in a storm, Holidayland closed. Guests still visit the old Holidayland site, though they aren't aware of it. This is where the sole buildings for the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean are hidden. Holiday season dates November 24th, 1955 to ongoing. Seasonal. The winter holiday season is one of the park's best attended times of the year. Since 1955, the centerpiece of the celebration has been a perfectly symmetrical 60-foot tall artificial tree erected in Town Square. At one time, the tree was entirely white, but guests today will find a green one densely decorated with thousands of lights and lavish ornaments. For its first holiday season, the park held a festival called Christmas at Disneyland from November 24th, 1955 until January 8th, 1956. The festival featured a special holiday parade and a concert held daily in an open space west of Sleeping Beauty Castle called the Christmas Bowl, as described on a 1955 promotional flyer. This holiday concert featured leading church and choral groups from all over the West. When the Christmas Bowl site became home to the Plaza Gardens in 1956, the strolling Charles Dickens carolers took holiday music to Main Street. Disneyland's winter celebration has continually expanded over the decades. From 1961 until the mid-70s, a sparkling 44,000-pound star helicoptered into position and visible from the Santa Ana Freeway topped the Matterhorn until energy concerns ended its long run. Moreover, several TV specials such as 1976 Christmas in Disneyland with Art Carney has spread the cheer far outside the park. Disneyland Around the Seasons, a 1966 episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color, showcased that year's holiday parade and candlelight procession. The latter event has become the season's inspirational highlight. First performed in 1958, the candlelight procession sends legions of carolers and candles down a garland Main Street. Accumulating the procession is a dramatic retelling of the traditional story of Christmas. Dozens of celebrities have served as the event's narrator, starting with actor Dennis Morgan for the first decade, and then diversifying to include such stars as John Wayne, Henry Fonda, Mickey Rooney, Cary Grant, Charlton Heston, Dick Van Dyke, and Gregory Peck. Equally emotional is the mass core ceremony that combines local chores, the Charles Dickens carolers, and an orchestra, and the living Christmas tree stacked with volunteer cast members who audition and then practice together as a chore. The park's holiday season parades are among the most popular of all the holiday events. Parades from previous decades include the Christmas in Many Lands Parades 1957 to 1964, Fantasy on Parade 1965 to 1976 and 1980 to 1985, and the Very Merry Christmas Parade 1977 to 1979 and 1987 to 2000. These have included such familiar favorites as Marching Toy Soldiers, dancing gingerbread cookies, and Disney princesses with their princes. During the holidays, Disneyland twinkles with beautiful decorations and lights, and there are celebrations around every corner. The sheer variety of joyous events ensures the park's popularity. There's literally something for everyone, no matter what the age or interest. Here's a partial list of 2010's holiday proceedings. Believe in holiday magic fireworks spectacular, including snow for the finale. The Haunted Mansion holiday with Jack Skellington dressed as Santa Claus. Festive foods such as snowman shortbread in the Blue Ribbon Bakery. New holiday gifts and collectibles sold in the park stores. A twice daily Christmas fantasy parade. Mr. and Miss Claus with live reindeer in Frontierland. Dozens of dozens of decorated Christmas trees of various sizes scattered throughout the park. Sleeping Beauty Castle adorned with icicles and special illumination, and 50,000 holiday lights decorating the it's a small world for Kate. All of this is on display in addition to Disneyland's regular shows, attractions, and live entertainments. Even Scrooge would be impressed. Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Map, Tomorrowland T-19 dates, May 22, 1998 to February 2010. Replacing the decommissioned Captain EO in the Magic Eye Theater was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, a Kodak-hosted 3D movie that debuted with the rest of the remodeled Tomorrowland in 1998. Like EO, Honey had been shown in Florida before it was brought west to Anaheim. During the film's 18 minutes, guests wore the obligatory 3D glasses and met MC Dr. Nigel Channing, Eric IDLE, a Monty Python's Flying Circus. Channing then brought in the Imagination Institute's Inventor of the Year, Professor Wayne S.C. ALINSKI, Rick Morris, reprising his role from the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Honey, I Blew Up the Kid movies. Soon the nutty but well-intentioned S.Z. ALINSKI accidentally minimized the theater to lunchbox size, and merriment ensues as the audience viewed everything in the film. The cast, the props, a dog, a lunging snake, as if it were gigantic. Technologically more advanced than Captain EO, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience was scrutinized with several special effects built into the theater itself, such as jets under the seats that blasted air around audience members' feet to stimulate scurrying mice. But EO, it turned out, wasn't gone for good. Michael Jackson's death on June 25, 2009, revived interest in the pop star and catalyzed the return of Captain EO in early 2010. House of the Future Map Tomorrowland T-1 dates June 12, 1957 to December 1st, 1967. In The Graduate, Benjamin Broderick, played by Dustin Hoffman, received one key word of advice as he considered his coming career: plastics. Anyone who saw Disneyland's House of the Future might have summarized modern living the same way. The second Moncito sponsored attraction at Disneyland. After the Hall of Chemistry, the House of the Future was a free walk-through exhibit located outside the entrance to Tomorrowland. The attraction stood on a 256 square foot raised platform surrounded by contemporary gardens and a winding pool that collectively covered about a quarter of an acre. The pool wasn't just there for anesthetics. Its water was part of the building's cooling system. From above, the 1,280 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home was shaped like a graceful plus sign. Its four compartmentalized models were each 8 feet tall and 16 feet long and extended from a central core outwards over open air. These smooth, streamlined models have jet fuselage, half jet fuselage, have LEGUME according to writer PJO ROURKE could be supplemented with additional models to accommodate the expanding family. An optional rotating platform enabled inhabitants to spin their house to face any direction. During its decade-long existence, the House of the Future welcomed some 20 million guests, more than the entire population of California at the time. Instead of a fun Disney-designed attraction, guests found a serious, mass-produced track-tone designed by MIT and Montecito engineers to show off technological advances from Montecito's plastics division. One of the strengths of the house was, in fact, its strength when it came time to dismantle the entire structure. In 1967, designers discovered that the four extending wings of the house had drooped less than a quarter inch, despite all the heavy traffic. The two-week demolition had to be done by hand with crowbars and saws because the wrecking bars swung at the house merely bounced off its sides. Pre-recorded narration playing inside the home bragged that nearly everything on view was artificial and adjustable. Fixtures in the bathroom and shelves in the cabinets could be raised or lowered at the push of a button, and the climate controlled air could be instantly warmed, cooled, purified, or scented. The few the futuristic communications included an intercom, push button speakerphones, picture picture phones, a sound system in the shower, and a large wall-mounted TV screen. Interior illumination was provided was provided by PANALESCENT fixtures, trans-ceiling, polarized panels, and mobile lights that could bathe each room with the glow of natural sunlight. The sleek furniture was made from vinyl and urethane. The drapes from nylon. Highlights in the steep Savor kitchen included an ultrasonic dishwasher and a microwave oven. Although the house of the future may seem silly or dated now, at the time it was an ambitious attempt to make the spirit of the space age real and practical, which is what Walt Disney would later try to do with the monorail and people mover, while the Astrojet Utopia and other Tomorrowland attractions entertain guests as fanciful rides. The House of the Future educated visitors as a walking vision of what the future could be. After the House of the Future closed in 1967, the Alpine Gardens were established over the landscape grounds, and a souvenir stand incorporated part of what had once been the futuristic patio. The seeds planted by the house of the future later blossomed into the Progress City model inside the carousel of progress. Hub, aka Plaza Hub, aka Central Plaza Map. Park P-10J. Dates July 17, 1955 to ongoing. All the earliest concept drawings of the full-size Disneyland Park depicted a broad center axis as the organizing principle for the overall layout. Walt Disney wanted his guests to walk through a cozy, familiar setting Main Street before they ventured into its unknown lands. Once past Main Street, guests would arrive at the park's chief terminal, from which all other areas could be accessed. Situated 800 feet north of the Main Street train station, this terminal, the park's nucleus, is called the Hub. Labeled as the Plaza Hub on 1989's format and formerly called the Central Plaza today, Walt Disney himself called this location the Plaza or the Hub when he introduced a model of the park on his Disneyland TV series. The single word plaza might confuse 21st century guests who have seen signs for the main eatery Eatery Plaza, located outside Disneyland's outside Disneyland's turnstiles and the Sunshine Plaza and Gateway Plaza, located inside Disney California Adventure. Not only does the term Plaza Hub both describe and pinpoint the location of the central open space, it also reaffirms its connection to the various plaza named establishments that have surrounded it, such as the Plaza Inn and the Plaza Gardens. There have been no hub named restaurants known to most guests as simply the hub. The area is both a departure point and a meeting point, radiating out from the hub like the spokes of a wheel or six main walkways, one taking guests south to Main Street, two heading west to Adventureland and Frontierland, two going north toward Fantasyland, and one heading east to Tomorrowland. Similar walkways also lead to a number of main restaurants, including the Plaza Pavilion to the southwest, the Plaza Gardens to the northwest, and what was once the Red Dragon Inn, now the Plaza Inn, to the southeast. It's very unlikely that a guest could avoid crossing the hub circle at least once during a park visit. Few guests, however, want to avoid the hub. Its circular expanse covers about 35,000 square feet, 4/5 of an acre, and it's beautifully landscaped with trees, shrubs, flowers, and benches. The central position of the hub make it one of the park's best spots to people watch, view fireworks, and admire vehicles, Main Street vehicles round the hub on the trips back to Town Square. In addition, popcorn carts, CCINO stands, and character greetings are usually available along the sidewalks. A helpful information board near the Plaza Pavilion offers up to the hour information about parade shows and wait times, plus a large braille map installed in the summer of 2011. Along the southern border of the hub are west and east Plaza Street, home to the refreshment corner, piano player, the baby station, and other sites. As of 1993, the partner statue of Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse has stood on a pedestal in the hub's center. The placement is significant. This dignified tribute to the park's origins wasn't installed in Town Square or outside the highly visible entrance or in Fantasyland, reputed to be Walt Disney's favorite area, or in any of the other key locations around the park. Partners is at the heart of the hub, and thus at the very heart of Disneyland itself. Hurricane Lamp Shop Map, Main Street, MS-4, dates 1972 to 1975. In 1972, a Main Street room, 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 formerly part of the corner Upjohn Pharmacy, became home to the Hurricane Lamp Shop, Victorian hurricane lamps with glass chimneys and oil-burning wicks might have seemed like appealing items for turn of the other century Main Street, but guests would soon glow out of them. In 1976, the Disneyana shop replaced the non-Disney lamps with Disney collectibles. Okay, that's all for now. Bye bye.